The big day is here, the grand finale of IPL 2022 between Gujarat Titans and Rajasthan Royals. The newbie franchisee versus the inaugural edition winners, Rajasthan Royals. Nikhil, a jam-packed crowd of 1,30,000 plus in Ahmedabad stadium, and it promises to be a cracking action.
Absolutely. Probably the greatest sporting event this final, at least in Indian sporting, in calendar. The IPL final has to be one of the most watched matches in Indian sport. I was reading somewhere that this match today at the Narendra Modi Stadium, Shubhayan, will be the most watched match ever in the history of cricket for any match anywhere. I mean, forget MCG, forget SCG, forget Eden Garden. This is the most watched match, spectator-wise, ever in the history of the of cricket, international cricket history. So imagine that, a great atmosphere, two of the best teams in the tournament. It's going to be a cracker-jacker of a match, 1 versus 2. Whichever team sort of holds its nerve in this special situation is going to come out triumphant.
Absolutely, it will be there will be plenty of nerves. There will be plenty of butterflies between both the teams. Remember, Rajasthan Royals, the first time they won the IPL in 2008. After that, they haven't reached any final till 2022 edition. And Gujarat Titans, Hardik Pandya's captaincy, be it their bowling lineup, be it their finishers, they have just had a rollicking start. We'll take a look at the playing 11s, likely playing 11s as well before we move to our fantasy 11. So we'll take a quick look at the likely playing 11s, which we'll discuss. And Nikhil, for Gujarat Titans, for Rajasthan Royals, they have a great assembled units. Both the teams have played some good cricket, but there are a couple of positions which give some doubts. Whether Matthew Wade for Gujarat Titans, he hasn't gotten any runs, only 30 plus scores in the last 9 innings. For Rajasthan Royals, as you were saying before the show, Riyan Parag or maybe Trent Bolt's lack of wickets. So there are plenty of couple of doubts in both the lineups.
Right. I mean, for me, Matthew Wade and Riyan Parag are the weak links, but I don't think both these teams will make any changes. It's my sort of hunch that they won't make any changes. They like to go with a winning combination. That is how teams like to go. So they will back Matthew Wade. Rajasthan Royals will back Riyan Parag. He's got one player of the match performance this season, but otherwise he's been very inconsistent. But I think they'll go with an unchanged 11. And they'll hope the 7 to 8 players for both the teams who've consistently done well in this tournament, they'll back them to again do well.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at Gujarat Titans' likely playing 11, and they are not expected to change any player, the winning combination there, but the way R. Sai Kishore, Yash Dayal, these youngsters have come in, the way Wriddhiman Saha has performed, the way David Miller, Rahul Tewatia have been finishing the games for them, and Hardik Pandya, the captain, of course they have played some great cricket in the road to the final.
Absolutely. For me, two standout batsmen, Shubhayan, Hardik Pandya, the highest score of 443 runs, absolutely brilliant. Also, David Miller. David Miller's best season with the bat. He hasn't scored as many runs ever in any IPL season than this season, averaging close to 60, striking the ball well, one of the best finishers. We all know what he did in the last match. And then there have been, contributions from Shubman Gill, especially at the start of the tournament. Wriddhiman Saha is amongst the highest run scorers since he started to play. 17th of April he started, amongst the highest run scorers. So very consistent, 30, 40, 50s. Rahul Tewatia, again we know what he's doing with David Miller in the lower order. So, everyone is playing their part. The bowling, of course, world class. Rashid Khan and Shami hold the key. But Yash Dayal and Lockie Ferguson have also provided a good support act.
And maybe we have put Lockie Ferguson in our likely 11, but in the last couple of matches, Alzari Joseph has been playing in place of Lockie Ferguson. So it remains to be seen whether they bring Lockie Ferguson back to the 11 in this grand finale. We'll now move to the Rajasthan Royals likely 11, and again as Gujarat Titans, they are also not expected to make any change. And why do so? The way they won the last match, the qualifier 2 against RCB, they must be buzzing with confidence.
Absolutely. I don't think RR will make any changes, especially Shubhayan, after the way they demolished RCB in the eliminator. Sanju Samson, although a lot of people have been criticizing him that he hasn't converted the 40, 50s and 70, 80s. I mean, while that criticism to an extent is justified, one must also see what he's trying to bring to the team. He's trying to basically inculcate, an aggressive attitude in the top order. Rajasthan Royals are playing have played this tournament the way T20 cricket should be played.
Yeah.
You know, attacking at the top of the order. Their run rate is the second best in the tournament, just marginally behind Delhi Capitals. So they, you know, they are batting with intent. They are batting positively, and therefore Sanju Samson sometimes sacrifices his wicket. But after scoring, let's say a 45 or 25, which is more valuable than if he anchors with a, let's say, a 60, 50 ball 60. So, you know, and he's got 450 runs already at a strike rate of close to 150. So, you know, if he ends this tournament with 500 runs, I mean, we cannot say he hasn't had a good tournament. So, you know, some of the criticism, a little sort of, you know, over the top for Sanju Samson. Then Jaiswal has been good. 3 high impact knocks in the last 6 innings. I mean, Buttler.
we can't just we just
what
can't.
Can we say about Buttler?
Absolutely, he had
800 plus runs, Shubhayan.
Will he cross 900 mark?
900, I'm not sure, but only 24 needed to break David Warner's record. So I think it will be Virat Kohli, Buttler, and David Warner. I think he's going to score at least 24 today. So 900 also on the cards, but definitely David Warner's record, I think, is going to, you know, be a bit farewell today.
But it will be tricky. I'm pretty sure Hardik Pandya will use at least 1 over of Rashid Khan against.
I mean, that head-to-head, which we'll see later in our preview show, is a staggering head-to-head, and he has to. I mean, I'm sure they have analysts who give them these numbers. Yeah, I mean, if Rashid Khan bowls in the power play, Jos Buttler might struggle because I don't think he reads him off the hands at all. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the team, Padikkal, as we said, can we? If you see the team again?
If we can get the Rajasthan Royals likely 11 and Devdutt Padikkal at number 4, he has been playing majority of.
He's done well. You know, he has a good partnership going with Buttler. Then Shimron Hetmyer, one of the finishers of the tournament, along with Dinesh Karthik, Rahul Tewatia, and Miller. So
Ashwin has batted really well.
Ashwin has batted really well. You know, from being the first batsman in the history to be retired out to hitting cameos. I mean, what a versatile cricketer.
At number 3.
I think he was hurt after being retired out, and he proved a point.
Maybe, maybe. But what a bowling lineup this is.
What a bowling lineup. See, they have someone for each phase of play. Trent Bolt, not at his best in this tournament, Shubhayan, but one of the finest new ball bowlers in international cricket, also in the IPL last 3 years. Absolutely fantastic with the new ball. And today they're saying it's a fresh pitch in Ahmedabad. It may assist the seamers in the first 6 overs, both innings. Prasidh Krishna, very impressive, power play and death. Prasidh Krishna essentially should be used, although he's taken wickets in the death, he's conceding some runs in the death overs. So he should be used essentially, I think,
power play and middle overs.
Power play and early middle overs. He should exhaust him in that phase of play.
Because you have an Obed McCoy for
who's doing very well in the death overs. And then Chahal, I mean, 1 wicket to overtake Hasaranga, become the purple.
They are joined
in 26 wickets. And you know, if I mean, I don't think, because he didn't pick any wickets in the last match, so he won't reach 32.
He conceded 45.
Absolutely. So he's not done well in the last 2 matches. Bit of concern, but you know, I think he can end with 28, 29 wickets.
Absolutely. Now let's move to our fantasy 11 as well. Crackerjack of a match, plenty of world-class players, and we have assembled a fantasy 11. So let's start with our captain, Nikhil.
Who's our captain?
Who's our captain?
I think it has to be Hardik Pandya.
It has to be Hardik Pandya.
No, it's not.
It has to be Jos Buttler. Come on, Nikhil.
No. I'm going with Hardik Pandya.
Oh, come on, Nikhil.
He
scored a century in the last
Hardik Pandya will also bowl.
Maybe he won't bowl. He's not bowling all his 4 overs in the last few
fair
matches.
enough. So we can go with Buttler, but I think Hardik Pandya is not a bad choice.
It's definitely not a bad choice the way he has batted, top scorer for Gujarat Titans. But Jos Buttler, I mean, in the last couple of matches he has done. He's got his groove back.
He's got his groove back. Yeah, I mean, 800 plus runs. You cannot. I mean, how can you not have him as a captain? So I mean, I can't sort of disagree with that. I mean, he's had a great season, Shubhayan.
Yeah.
And you know, he, I think, wants to just, you know, single-handedly win it for Rajasthan Royals, win it for Shane Warne.
Absolutely.
You know, he just wants to. I mean, this season belongs to Jos Buttler. Like 2016 belonged to Warner and Virat Kohli. This season belongs to Jos Buttler. He's in a different zone to all other batsmen.
Absolutely, and crackerjack of a tournament for Jos Buttler, a dream tournament for him, and let's see whether he crosses the 900 mark or not. A big match for him and Rajasthan Royals as well. Let's move to the other players as well, and you know, Nikhil, both the teams, they have so good openers. I mean, all the 4 openers here in this match, be it Shubman Gill, be it Riddhiman Saha, be it Rajasthan Royals is Yashasvi Jaiswal along with Jos Buttler, they have scored runs and they can create that sort of impact. So I don't think there's much wrong in putting all 4 of them in the fantasy 11.
No, I mean, the way fantasy works is you choose the best batsmen and the best bowlers.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to go by positions.
Yep.
I mean, you just have to get maximum points, right? So therefore, you can choose your best batsman wherever they bat. I mean, that is the thing with fantasy. So
I think we have all our four openers in our fantasy 11 to guide that, and Yashasvi Jaiswal, you were talking about him, 3 high impact knocks, and
in the last 6 innings,
in power play it eases the pressure of Jos Buttler as well. You know, if he gets a couple of boundaries in the first 2 overs, then Jos Buttler can take a couple of 10 deliveries, 15 deliveries to settle down.
Yeah, I mean, Jaiswal is a good pick, you know, left and right-handed combination, and he supports Jos Buttler well. Buttler can ease into his innings, although last innings he didn't need any invitation. He went, you know, helter-skelter at the start of the inning. But Jaiswal, he's showing good form, although he hasn't scored a 70-80, but those 30, 40, 50s in the last 6 innings, he's done well.
Yep, and the next player is Riddhiman Saha, Shubman Gill. I think we have both of them in our playing 11. That's Riddhiman Saha. As you said, the highest run scorer for GT since he was
since the 17th of April he started playing. He's done very well. You know what he's done is not only has he scored those runs, he's also sort of scored them at a certain strike rate around 140.
He has played to his strength. He knows he's a power play basher and he does his job in the power play. And if he gets out in the 8th or 9th over, his job is done.
Absolutely, and he's playing his role to perfections. It is helping the Titans. You know, it's helping them to sort of, Shubman Gill doesn't have to go helter-skelter. Although he started the tournament, you know, playing in an aggressive way, he's again gone back to playing accumulator. So with Riddhiman Saha being there in the top order helps Shubman Gill.
Absolutely, and both have complemented each other pretty well, and the results are in front of them. And let's move to our next player, and he's Shubman Gill. I think he's Shubman Gill, and yes, I think and Nikhil, I'll go back to the India match where Shubman Gill was playing against England, and he did look good in Ahmedabad conditions. He enjoys the bounce, and I expect him to come good.
I mean, Shubman Gill started the tournament, Shubhayan, you know, in absolutely a devastating manner. The 2 knocks of 70, 80 he scored. He was batting at a very, very high strike rate. And then suddenly he again sort of went into his shell. He lost a bit of form, but he's come back. Expect a big score from Shubman Gill today. Class player, pedigree. At least, you know, this season he has realized that strike rate is important in T20 cricket. So I expect Shubman Gill to now reinvent his T20 game and continue in this avatar, you know, in the seasons to come.
Absolutely, and the next player after Shubman Gill is another Gujarat Titans batter, that is David Miller. Miller has also played some great knocks. I think we are talking about Hardik Pandya. Okay, the next player is Sanju Samson. After we'll have David Miller, but Sanju Samson, as you said, Nikhil, earlier, he has been playing impact knocks, and Rajasthan Royals would want their captain to stand up to the occasion and score a big one.
Absolutely. So he's been quite consistent. He's scoring those 30, 40s, 50s. At a strike rate of 150 plus in most of those innings, which is at least, you know, providing the spark in the middle order to the Rajasthan Royals innings. So Buttler provides the spark at the top of the order, Samson in the middle overs, and Hitmaier finishes them. That's their strategy. Also, I was, you know, reading somewhere, if you see his numbers, Samson acceleration, when he comes out to bat, his score of the first 10 to 15 deliveries, his strike rate is amongst the best amongst all players. So he doesn't waste deliveries. As soon as he comes, he only knows one way to bat, attack. And that is Samson's game. He doesn't want to sort of start slowly and then build. He believes that, you know, balls are precious, maximize the minimum resources. That is his strategy in T20 cricket.
Absolutely. If attacking is Sanju Samson's way to go, then David Miller's Gujarat Titans is David Miller has rose to the occasion. I mean, some of the knocks, I think for me, David Miller has been the best batter for Gujarat Titans. The way he has in occasions he has played anchor, in occasions he has played the aggressor. So he has done nothing wrong to get that tag.
Absolutely. I mean, the last knock he played in the qualifier one. I mean, that was absolutely 3 sixes to finish the match. I mean, that was unbelievable. And the maturity, you know, the Miller of before Shubhayan used to be very restless. He used to be, temperament was a problem. I mean, talent wasn't a problem. He was, a great sort of T20I batsman of South Africa. But he was very inconsistent. Temperament was a problem. This season, somehow, and he's spoken about it, I think he's got the confidence of the captain, the management, and he's very confident in what he's doing, showing a lot of maturity in the middle, forming partnerships with Hardik and with Rahul Tewatia. And till he is there, they almost can't lose. I mean, that is the confidence. I mean, absolutely brilliant. David Miller, starting in the middle overs, finishing the innings in the death. probably the batsman of the tournament, one of the batsmen apart from Jos Buttler.
Absolutely, and David Miller, all eyes will be on him. The way he has finished some of the matches for Gujarat Titans, and GT fans in their home ground would be expecting that they will witness another Miller masterclass. Let's move to our vice captain of the team, Nikhil. Any guesses there?
Rashid Khan?
Hardik Pandya.
Oh, of course, Hardik Pandya. I mean, any praise is less for Hardik Pandya, Shubha. And what he's done for this team in this tournament, you know, the highest scorer for them.
Comeback of the ages.
Comeback, yeah, absolutely. You know, bowling in the power play, also bowling in the death and only conceding 8. I mean, you know, absolutely brilliant Hardik Pandya, inspirational leader, you know, motivating players like David Miller to sort of, you know, it's absolutely...
He was inconsistent, David Miller, before he came to
absolutely, and you know, I don't know what Hardik Pandya has done, that he's all these players.
Shami has found his groove.
Absolutely,
back.
and you've not, these players are not superstars, but everyone is delivering. As we had discussed the other day, they have 8 different player of the match awards, and it is not a coincidence. It, you know, credit has to be given to the leadership of Hardik Pandya for the collective performance of Gujarat Titans.
True, he has brought the best out of his team and best out of himself as well, be it batting, be it bowling, be it fielding, be it the leader of the camp. He has done everything wrong, and we'll see him very soon in the Indian jersey on June 9 against South Africa as well. Let's move to our next player, and he has to be there. He has to be there in that fantasy 11. Rashid Khan, you can't just leave him out.
Absolutely. Rashid Khan, the magician from Afghanistan, continues to impress in the IPL, the best bowling average in IPL history.
Yeah.
I think he already has 18 wickets in this tournament. Economy rate around 6.5, controlling the middle overs absolutely splendidly, providing the cameos at the death. I mean, what else do you need from Rashid Khan? A great fielder, saving runs in the outfield. Absolutely, absolutely, a brilliant. He was also a part of our best 11, which we selected yesterday.
Has to be there. Even if he's not getting wickets, he's creating that sort of pressure which allows other bowlers to pick up wickets. So Rashid Khan absolutely must have, and he's winning matches with the bat as well. So you just can't leave him out there. Let's move to the bowling attack now, and Yuzvendra Chahal, the way he has bowled in this tournament, getting his rhythm back. Before Yuzi Chahal, we'll have a look at Trent Bolt as well. It was a iffy pick. We had a good discussion about Trent Bolt because, you know, he has not been getting wickets. But as you said, Nikhil, the pitch might assist pacers.
Yeah.
The pitch might give him that early momentum to get the ball moving in both directions.
Absolutely, and therefore Trent Bolt, you know, has to be there. He's a differential pick, but he has to be there. Not at his best, but we all know what he's capable of, Shumayan, with the new ball. If it swings the fresh pitch, he gets 2 or 3 opposition wickets in the power play. The match is as good as over. So Trent Bolt, for what he's done in the past in the power play, one of the finest power play bowlers in the IPL in the last 2 seasons, he has to be in the 11.
And then let's move to another pacer, this time from Gujarat Titans' team. He has also found his groove back in this shortest format of the game, and that is Mohammad Shami. I mean, you have to have him in the fantasy 11. The way he's bowling in the power play, he's an absolutely aggressive wicket-taking bowler for GT.
Absolutely. You know, Mohammad Shami has been a revelation with the ball. One of the best new ball bowlers in the tournament, if not the best bowler. 11 wickets in the power play, Shubhayan. Overall, I was also seeing, you know, his quality of wickets. 90% of his wickets are of the top 6 opposition batsmen. So, you know, his bowling strike rate since 2019, as we've discussed before, is better than Jasprit Bumrah. So, you know, a class bowler, not only one of India's best in Test cricket, but now one of our spearheads in T20 cricket also.
100%, and Mohammad Shami, all eyes will be on him against Rajasthan Royals, whether he can do the damage up front or not. Let's move to our last player, but not the least, and even if he's our last player, he's sitting top of that wicket-taking list. Yuzvendra Chahal has had a dream tournament, Nikhil.
Absolutely. It all started in the UAE leg last year, Shubhayan, the transformation, and you know, he's taken it to a different level, 26 wickets, joint highest wicket taker along with Vanindu Hasaranga. And you know, absolutely striking at 12 to 13 runs per over, 12 to 13 balls per wicket, controlling the middle overs. Yuzvendra Chahal has been phenomenal. I mean, he's also bowling in the death a couple of overs like Hasaranga has, so has Yuzvendra Chahal. So, you know, Yuzvendra Chahal, absolutely brilliant in the middle overs, and, you know, doing what he did for Rajasthan, for RCB, in all the seasons, with the exception of the last season, 3 or 4 seasons before that, controlling the middle overs, picking crucial wickets, restricting the opposition batsmen.
Absolutely, that's our fantasy 11 for this grand finale of IPL 2022, and let us know whether you agree with that. 11 or not, but pretty sure that will fetch you some good points there. All big name players and all informed players, barring one or two, which can act as a differential pick for you guys in the fantasy 11. But do maintain discretion, do play it safely, don't go all out. So that's our fantasy 11. Any doubts there, Nikhil?
I mean, no. I mean, my only thing was I would have picked maybe Hardik as the captain.
But that's open. That's an open debate. Even if someone wants to, and captaincy, vice captaincy, it's all about instincts. If you're feeling Sanju Samson might score 100, then go and make him captain.
Absolutely.
Who knows? It might click. So that's our fantasy 11. Nikhil, you will be back with the preview as well at 7 o'clock. So don't forget to tune in at 7 o'clock for the in-depth preview, where we'll discuss the head-to-head, the encounters, key battles, many more stuff, along with the playing 11, the toss updates, and much more. So don't forget to tune in at 7 p.m. For the RR versus GT IPL 2022 final preview show. Nikhil, that's it for this one. Thank you so much. I won't ask you for the predictions in this.
We'll do that later.
We'll do that later. So don't forget to check that out as well at 7 o'clock. So for now, thank you for watching.